Hi. Excuse me. Hi. It's skycat.live. How are you? Yay! And we're gonna play some video games. 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 Thank you for showing up today. Today is 11/27/2023. That is a Monday, November 27th, 2023. I am unshaven because my pipes are frozen slightly. And I assume it being a sunny day, that will be cleared up today. But I was unable to take a shower this morning. I might actually pause this video halfway through and go take a shower and shave if my water begins running again. Yeah, very cold winter here. So today we will be playing some Final Fantasy XI and some Valheim and some EvE Online, and we will have lots of fun. And I have all three games fired up, and I'm ready to be with you people down by the fire. Let's be with each other down by the fire. Damn, woman, I just gave you sweet lovin' 5 minutes ago. That's Chef from South Park, Isaac Hayes. Damn, baby, I just gave you sweet lovin' 5 minutes ago. But we gonna give you 14 more hours of it. We gonna give you 14 hours of sweet lovin' every day. 14 hours of sweet lovin' every day. Yeah. So yeah, that's the story. I'm not gonna talk anymore because my throat is sore and I am ready to game. And so I hope you guys enjoy this wonderful Valheim EvE Online Final Fantasy XI session. I know I will. And and usually on Sundays, yesterday I did not sing because my throat is sore, but next Sunday I'll probably do a nice music session, 4 or 5 hours, depending on how my throat is feeling. That is all. So we're going to get off the big face now. Goodbye, you big fat face. And put the small face. Hi. I'll get a little closer. 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 Hello. And yeah, we're playing some EvE Online. We're going to jump to it. I am well rested. I slept from 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. It is about 8 a.m. in the morning. We are going to turn on the sound now. Yeah. Lots of wind in this Valheim world. I wonder if there is... Yeah, it sucks. You can't turn down... Yep. Beautiful nighttime. Beautiful house that I built when I was exhausted. I build better when I'm brain dead than when I do when I'm like totally sober and ready to do it. I think I just like let the brain flow and make something for me and fucking bloom. Is that a deer I heard? I hate the deer sound. Alright, well, clean the bed and sleep. Alright, so wood is gonna go in the wood chest. Stone is gonna go in the stone chest. Leather will go in the leather chest. I guess meat will go in this chest. Or, well, I think I'm supposed to actually keep the meat on me. At least a stack of it. So the next chest will be meat. And I guess we'll do, what is that? Oh, that's coins. Yeah, coins. Coins will always be the last chest. So we'll come here and we'll put coins away in here. I feel like making a lot of arrows right now. I think I'm probably going to. I want a random chest, like a little bit down, like halfway down, like right about here, I think. Where I put, oh wait, there's leather scraps, I guess. That'll go in this one as well. There's coal. I suppose coal will matter later, so I'll put it like further down, like in this box or whatever. There's beech seeds. I guess I could do a box for seeds. Yeah, coal and seeds or whatever. Here we'll put seeds. Yeah, lots of dandelion seeds and stuff like that. There's amber. We keep like a random box here with like random stuff, and then trophies I'll keep here. Yeah, random stuff like resin, right? Resin and stuff. Yeah. Feathers we'll put here. And I have like old busted tools that I'll put in this one, like that I'll deal with later that I don't need, the extra tools and bullshit like that. Yeah, like that worn out torch or whatever. Actually, I suppose I could repair all these. I suppose I will. And good morning, guys. I love you. I hope you have an excellent day. All right, let's get out and get us a nice charm and get to the XP in. I don't really want to run and look for a tiger, so I'm just going to summon one. Little loud.
Your skill has increased. Your skill has increased.
Wow, that was close. Nope. No, it wasn't. I can't believe the gambler one-shot me. Come on, man. At least I got the XP before the death. Son of a bitch. Ah, whatever. Oh, I'm 36 now? I'm 36 now, wow. Well, I mean, now Batalia's good. I'll go to 37, I don't care. I don't need it to be harder. I need it to be easier. Like, that was an easy prey mob that one-shot me there. Well, he didn't one-shot me, but he hit me, he killed me in one hit because he aggro right at the end. I ran too, but it was too late. I ran like right as I knew he was there, but I was like, there's no way that EP is gonna aggro me when I have 10 health, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. I should have been more. I was worried about it, and it happened. This is why I die in hardcore, because it's like it's impossible for me to focus. I immediately alt tab back out again. It's impossible for me to focus on these games that I've been playing for 27 years. So, ooh, Warp 2 in South Sandoria for 2K, but I can't, I mean, I can't get there fast. If I lived in Sandy, I would. No. Yep. That's awesome how you can pause time. I actually really like that. Oh, left control mouse 3 and you can rotate. You can just copy what you want. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. I like that. That's way better than Rust. That's cool. You stand at the prow of a leaping ship, the salt spray before you, and the joyful shriek of gulls above. Folded within a dream, you remember something that I didn't catch. Wood, boars, and flint.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Wow. I was not rated. Jesus Christ. They blew a hole in my roof. Excuse me.
drive active. asteroid is depleted. The asteroid is depleted.
least I got it. At least I got it. Trap bitch.
The asteroid is depleted.
This will be fun. So I trapped this guy right now at 925, right? So I'll check in on him in 20 minutes, because the loot won't be the loot won't be gone, but he won't have the patience. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Can't believe I got him like that. Thank you. I'm gonna clip this one fucking idiot. Clip that. This is the power of patience in the TikTok age. They can't handle it. They can't handle the idea of not being entertained for 3 seconds. They'll go do something dumb. This guy will probably come raid me. I don't care. It's not my fault he got trapped in my fucking base like a scrub. he couldn't get the crossbow back out in time. Fucking idiot. Like, I don't think he's been in that situation much, but I have. I've been in that situation a lot. I've been in his situation. I've been in my situation. Been there, done that a lot. I didn't, like, my pulse didn't raise. I've had it happen a lot before. I mean... When I realized that he had fucked up, I just went out there and killed him. I was like, wow, why would you make noise? You're stupid. He was like, fuck, he went AFK, didn't he? Yeah, I did. Till you made a mistake. Oh, did they kill my, oh. I bet they killed my, I've been shopping on the noob corpse all the live long day. I've been shopping on the noob corpse. Maybe I'll eat him to regain his strength. I'm kidding. Thanks for the 14 scrap. Why couldn't you have any loot, you fucking idiot? The question is, how did he get up and in there so fast? How did he get in here so fast? Let's go find out. How did this guy do this? No. How did this... Oh, there's a ladder right there. Oh, okay. Well, that's why. Well, at least I get a free ladder VP. That's good. I need a T2, but I don't have the scrap. Hey, it's sunny, finally. I will have a lot of arrows. A lot of arrows. Timber. These boss like Link. It's kind of funny. It's actually not a bad place to camp, you know. Let's see if the cyclone hits both of them this time. Aw, Cyclone does not work at all. Fuck it. Why could you hit both birds? Damn it. Come on now. Attack that thing. Come on now. Alright. So does jumping on the tree hurt it? Oh, I guess not. Alright, I'm done with this music. It's gotten repetitive. Let's listen. I was watching the beginning of a video today. Let's go watch... let's go watch... let's learn about Danny Masterson and the Scientology. Okay?
Danny Masterson has been a staple on television for the last 25 years, but
And
behind
God
the
knows
scenes,
why.
he was violently attacking women. Many more women than you've heard about in the mainstream media. There's been a lot of discussion that none of his victims said anything for over 20 years and then accused him out of the blue with no evidence. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Masterson was a lifelong member of the Church of Scientology, and Scientology has allegedly not only been aware of these attacks, but they've been pressuring victims to not contact the authorities. Masterson's victims finally had enough and contacted the LAPD several years ago. After over half a decade of investigating, Danny Masterson was finally charged with attacking 3 women. Despite the fact that Masterson and his 3 siblings are famous celebrities who appeared in huge TV shows and movies, there was barely any media attention around Masterson's trial. Despite the hundreds of articles and dozens of interviews, his trial barely garnered any coverage. But suddenly, overnight, millions of people were weighing in because Masterson's A-list friends, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, leapt to defend Masterson and wrote letters praising him as a trustworthy friend that they would leave their
Scientology.
own young children alone with. In
Oh,
this video,
come
we'll be
on.
discussing absolutely everything to do with
Yeah, he
Danny
wasn't the
Masterson's
child rapist,
trial,
no.
consequences, the aftermath, and also the fallout from Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis's glowing endorsement. Cameras weren't allowed in the courthouse, so I hope this video can represent everything you've wanted to know about this case and trial, plus everything Scientology doesn't want you to know, including some old interviews and comments that certainly take on a new light with Masterson's charges in mind. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in to the life, crimes, and trial of a Hollywood monster who almost got away with it, Danny Masterson.
I ended up getting a job, and I didn't know. Yeah, she was hot as she was, come on. 14, she was even hotter. I don't know how to say that. Hi, my name is Danny Masterson. Would you like to touch my balls?
Why are you asking people to do that? That's the more important question. I mean, you got them. Yeah, right. I've heard about you. And you'll be caught soon. I know you will.
I will.
And you'll be caught soon.
I will.
I know you will.
I will.
Viewer discretion is advised as this video discusses extremely serious topics involving SA. Outside of court convictions, everything is alleged and based on research, sources available.
Can't believe Conan was like, you'll be caught soon. That's so fucked up. So fucked up.
Danny Masterson and his siblings all grew up in the Church of Scientology. They've all also been actors since their childhood, with their mother Carol acting as his and his siblings' managers.
It's a whole rat
his
nest
brother
of
Chris went
actors.
on to play older brother
That's what you
Francis
refer to a
in
gaggle of
Middle,
actors
and his
as.
sister Alana
Rat's
went
nest.
on to play a lead in The Walking
kidding, I'm
Dead
kidding.
for many seasons. Masterson and his brother were child models for the Ford agency, and they did print work in early childhood, later moving on to commercials and eventually moving into television and movies. Danny Masterson's first film role was in the 1990s classic Beethoven 2. He then went on to do a few more TV shows and movies
Classic.
in the mid-90s, including 2 episodes of Roseanne
Piece of
and
crap
the movie
movie.
Face Off. Face Off also starred fellow Scientologist John Travolta, and Danny Masterson's small part seemed to echo his future crimes. In the late 90s, Danny continued to multi-episode arcs on shows like Party of Five and Sybil, but it wasn't until 1998 that Danny hit it big, when he was cast on a TV show called Teenage Wasteland. After the show went through several working titles, they finally settled on one, and on August 23rd, 1998, the show that ended up running for 8 years premiered under its decided upon title, That 70s Show. That 70s Show ran for 8 seasons and was an enormous success. With 200 episodes, it was made Fox's second longest running live-action sitcom ever, just behind Married with Children, though it didn't quite have the same rating success.
Nope.
Masterson starred alongside 5 other cast members: Topher Grace, Mila Kunis, Laura Prepon, Ashton Kutcher, and Wilmer Valderrama. There seems to have been a lot of improper behavior behind the scenes of That 70s Show, and it appears as though Mila Kunis in particular went through and was exposed to a lot on the set.
Meanwhile, at the same event, Mila joked that the boys on the show did joke around with her quite a bit over the years.
Was it hard? Like, of course, you know, because Ashton and Topher and Wilmer, they're all a bunch of jokesters. So were they torturing you like a little sister on the set back there?
Yeah, I mean, I got pants a lot. But it was all
And you look really hot.
well, thanks, Danny. I don't feel very hot, I have to say. Like, the waistband, I don't know if you can see.
Pantsed a lot means that they ripped her pants down.
Like, 1/3 rib. And, like, you know, it's polyester. It's tight. It's not flattering, in my opinion.
I ended up getting the job, and I didn't know. Yeah, she was as hot as she was, you know, before. Fortunately, she was even hotter. I'm not allowed to say that.
Have you guys learned a lot from this acting job? I mean, have you taught you a lot about acting, always doing the whole thing?
There obviously was inappropriate things that we know about, like her first kiss with Ashton Kutcher when she was only 14 and he was 19. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher later recounted this story in an interview with my friend and avid watcher of this channel, Rosie
You know
O'Donnell.
what's funny is when she was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right? And they're like, okay, you guys are gonna be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly illegal,
that's
right?
probably your first kiss ever,
It
right?
was my first kiss. Why someone bet you made with Danny about our first kiss?
No, it wasn't the first kiss. It was like the second or third kiss.
It was the first, it was like the first week.
No, it was not the first week.
Whatever, let me tell you what happened.
No, let me tell you what happened.
No, okay, so I never kissed the guy. So I was so, and even though Ash was attractive and I was a 14-year-old little girl and I was extremely scared for my life.
Sure.
And he was very nice about it. He was like, oh, don't worry. So I was like, okay. Then Danny goes and goes, dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her. When would you stick your tongue in my mouth?
What? No.
$10.
So Danny bets me like $20 that I wouldn't do it. And of course, I'm like, yeah, sure, what's the deal? You
And
know?
then the cop showed up and you got arrested pretty much.
They should have,
He
but they
never
didn't.
did it. And
I
he
so
claims
did.
he claims to this day he did that. I swear.
Mila, I
Never.
so did it.
He never did it?
I didn't let him. I think he tried, but I think it came out so
Come
bad.
on.
Yeah. You did the old teeth flop?
Yes.
While I've been going through a
The
number of old
asteroid is
interviews for this
depleted.
video, there's been a lot
The
of very
asteroid is
questionable
depleted.
stories and accounts, and we'll discuss those later in the video. Flashing forward for a second, 4 of Danny Masterson's That 70s Show co-stars wrote letters for him while he was awaiting sentencing, and we'll discuss those individuals and the letters later in the video. But the majority of those letters all repeated one story from the early days of That 70s Show. Danny Masterson was the oldest of the 6 kids on the show, and in the first season, he sat the group down and told them that they had a good thing going with the show becoming a success, and this was their shot, and nobody better ruin it for him by doing drugs or being an idiot and having the press splash their mistakes all over the magazines. That 70s Show was very abruptly cancelled during its 8th season due to the ratings significantly dropping due to the loss of stars Topher Grace and Ashton Kutcher. Masterson remained best friends with Ashton Kutcher, and throughout the show, all of the cast were extremely close, with the exception of Topher Grace. Rumors always existed that Topher didn't like Masterson, and that as Masterson was the leader of the group of the rest of the cast, Topher didn't have much to do with the cast outside of work. Topher just showed up to work, found his light, read his lines, hit his marks, and went home. The rest of the cast were so close to Danny Masterson that all of them, except of course
Topher Grace is an interesting guy in and of himself. I look at Topher Grace and I think sociopath because I've never seen him evince emotion before. He's a good actor, but I've never seen him evince emotion before, and he's just as weird as them, in my opinion. You can spot them because they don't have any emotions, you know? It's very easy to see. That kid's a sociopath, I think. And that's a bad thing to say. It's just I've never seen him actually... Like, when you see him, he's got a sardonic, flat face his entire career for 20 years. He never changed his face.
Yearly to the Scientology Celebrity Center for Christmas parties, Christmas plays, and just to regularly hang out.
I'm a woman and he's a man.
And I'm a talking dog.
Yeah, Topher wouldn't go to this because Topher was like, no. I wouldn't go to it either.
I can hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, you know, Quick and Ron are my two best friends, and Laura's basically my sister-in-law, and I watched her grow up since she was 14 years old. You know, so those are family.
I don't care about that.
We're basically in each other's heads.
Laura Prepon, who played Donna on that 70s show, not only converted to Scientology while on the show with Danny Masterson, but she also dated Chris Masterson, Danny's brother, for almost a decade and the entire run of the show. Ashton Kutcher's assistant for many years was a Scientologist, which could not have occurred without the explicit permission of Scientology. We'll discuss Scientology a lot throughout the rest of this video, and there are a lot more stories and references to Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis later on also, but we'll get into all of that later in the video. Masterson continued to work mainly on TV over the next decade, and he remained close friends with Ashton Kutcher and Wilder Valderrama, so close that they opened a restaurant, and Masterson also opened a club called Guys. Masterson's club had a dark reputation, with many women coming out and saying that they had been drugged on the premises. One evening, as many as 7 women were taken away in ambulances with suspected drugging. Masterson also had Lindsay Lohan removed from the club
That's
one
always
evening,
good.
as Lohan angrily shouted at Masterson that she was going to call the cops on him. Lohan had previously guest starred back during the run of that 70s show, and she was also at that time dating Wilder Valderrama. Wilmer was continuing his long history of befriending and then dating underage girls.
They're all
only
child
going public
child
with their
molesters and
relationship the
rapists.
second
That
they
70s
turned
show.
18.
You know, it's weird. You know what I wrote on her comments? I said, you know, I couldn't really ever put my finger on why I didn't really like the 70 shows that much, because some of the actors and actresses I really liked a lot, but other ones I was like, it made me very difficult for me to watch the show. It's so annoying. Stupid ass scientist. Who is he shooting?
Kutcher and Masterson starred and were the executive producers on a new Netflix show called The Ranch.
Yeah, which
Many
sucked,
of
by
That
the way.
70s show cast members guest starred on the earlier seasons of The Ranch. Interviews that the pair did discussing their early 20s as party boys in Hollywood came across as innocent enough initially, but that was before the accusations against Masterson went public. But when you look back upon them now, with everything we know, they do take on a much darker tone.
You were big on the party scene.
A little bit, yeah.
He had like all the hookups.
Look, we took a night off a week.
But he knew, like, he'd been here, like, grew up in the whole thing. And this was like pre-TMZ, pre-cell phone camera. So
Yeah.
you could, like, go out.
In this chapter, we'll discuss the accusations against Danny Masterson, the first trial, and the 3 victims. By victims, I mean the 3 Jane Does that Danny Masterson was charged with attacking in both trials, and in the first trial there was a 4th victim, Trisha V, who testified, and in the second trial there was another victim named Kathleen who was attacked by Masterson in Canada. Throughout this video, I'll refer and discuss to many more women who have come forward and continue to come forward about Danny Masterson attacking them. You will be surprised by the amount of women, and based on everything we know about reporting SA crimes, there are a lot more victims out there. When it comes to this case, this trial, this story, a lot of people have just read the headlines. They talked about how this is nothing more than women claiming something that happened over 20 years ago, but that's actually not true. We'll discuss this in the chapter and throughout the video, but these attacks were reported back in the early 2000s. There is a rule in Scientology, a very strict rule, that no Scientologist is allowed to report another Scientologist for a crime to the WOG authorities. WOG is Scientology slang for the outside world, for anyone who isn't a Scientologist. All 3 victims were Scientologists, so Scientology stopped them from reporting their attacks to the police. But even so, some of these women were so hurt and so disappointed by Scientology's handling that they did go to the LAPD. Much more on that in a minute. Even Leah Remini and her show Scientology in the Aftermath was brought the story in the mid-2010s, and her show investigated for almost 3 years. Leah interviewed 2 of the original 4 victims in 2017, but they couldn't air the episode until 2019 so that they didn't interfere with the investigation. So let's start with the allegations and we'll go on from there. In March 2017, 3 women filed SA allegations against Danny Masterson, prompting an investigation by the LAPD. Through his agent, Masterson denied these accusations. In December 2017, after a 4th victim's accusations, Netflix fired Masterson from his TV show, The Ranch. He worked on this show with several of his That 70s Show co-stars, including Ashton Kutcher. Netflix issued the following statement. Yesterday was Masterson's last day on the show, and production will resume in early 2018 without him. Masterson stated that he was obviously disappointed in Netflix's decision to write his character off The Ranch, but prior to Netflix writing his character off the show, there was 2 controversies. On December 4th, 2017, the Huffington Post published an article that while at a soccer game for their kids, one of Danny Masterson's accusers was talking to another parent. This parent turned out to be Andy Yeatman, who was an executive at Netflix. When the accuser asked Yeatman why Netflix wasn't taking any action against Masterson, because by this stage they still hadn't issued a statement on him or fired him from the show, Yeatman then said, "Oh, it's because we don't believe them," in reference to the alleged victims. Netflix, who was embarrassed by this story, fired both Yeatman and Masterson, but it's obvious that that is what was going on inside of Netflix, because there was a second controversy involving Danny Masterson. So this story involves a former production assistant on the show The Ranch, and this production assistant's name is Nick Olszewski, and he ended up emailing his former boss, who was Melanie Patterson, and Melanie was a producer for The Ranch, but she also worked on That 70s Show for nearly its entire run. So Nick reached out to Melanie after reading the initial Huffington Post article about what happened with Danny Masterson and the Jane Doe.
There's another one.
So Nick had worked on The Ranch with
There is another one like right here.
And in some of the articles that have come out about this, he has been quoted as saying, "Danny and I were really good friends for about a year and a half, and we hung out a lot." After a taping, Danny would typically have an after-show party at a private room at La Poubelle, a French restaurant across the street from the Scientology Celebrity Center on Franklin. So Nick didn't put in his initial email what he wanted to tell Netflix. He ended up just sending the email saying that he had something that he wanted to tell them in regards to Danny Masterson and his behavior, and he just basically had a story to tell them. So that's all Nick told them, but Nick said what he wanted to tell them was a few things, and there's a few like anecdotal things. Like he said that his girlfriend had only met Danny Masterson a handful of times, but that she was always really creeped out by him because he would always try and kiss her, and he would always touch her like really inappropriately for someone that she didn't know. He was always touching like really low in her back and like on her sides and stuff, and she's just said she didn't get a good vibe. Obviously there's no like concrete evidence, but Nick also said there was a few times that he heard Danny going really nuclear on some people down the phone when he thought no one was around. But the main thing that Nick wanted to just inform Netflix about was a conversation he heard between Danny Masterson and his co-star Alicia Cuthbert. Nick said, before Alicia and her sister and girlfriends were going to Las Vegas for a birthday party, Danny gave them a crash course in how to avoid getting roofied. Nick said he thought it was strange because Danny knew a lot about roofies. Again, nothing absolutely wild, but I can see, especially the last one, why he wanted to say something, just in case. It's not going to really cause any harm to say something. Well, that's what he thought anyway, because when somebody reached back out to him, it wasn't actually his old boss, it wasn't Netflix, it was actually Danny, because the producer had immediately gone to Danny Masterson and assumed that Nick was trying to tell them something to help Danny, not against him. And the producer said, oh, get in touch with him. And Masterson ended up texting Nick, and I will put a screenshot of this text on the screen, saying, yo, my bro, just finished run through. Mel told me earlier you hit her up with info to help me with this bullshit I'm dealing with. What you got? And that was pretty much the only text that there ever was. But there was a phone call from someone who identified themselves as Andrew to Nick and wouldn't give Nick their last name or their title or what they did, who they worked for. And Nick said, I'm not going to just tell anyone this random information, and I'm also, not really comfortable with just having a conversation with you and me. Like, I'd rather have someone there as a witness. And he later actually found out that this person was Andrew Brentler, who is an attorney who works for Marty Singer, who is the legendary Hollywood attorney who has represented Masterson for years. Nick said he did reach out again to the producer and say, who is this Andrew guy? And the producer allegedly said, oh, it's one of our Netflix guys, which is obviously fake. And in a very bizarre coincidence, although Nick says he thinks it was a deliberate choice, but I'm not so sure about that. You can make your own decision about this. When Danny Masterson was written off the ranch, his character drove off after being threatened at gunpoint by a character named Nick. So that maybe is just a bit of a strange coincidence. Again, it's nothing crazy,
almost hit him.
but I just thought it was worth mentioning because you do just kind of see how so many other people are enabling the behavior behind the scenes or even cleaning up their messes. A few weeks after this, a fifth woman came forward and made similar accusations against Masterson, and he was dropped as a client by his talent agency, United Talent Agency, which he had been with for over 20 years. In August 2019, the four women filed a lawsuit against Masterson and the Church of Scientology for stalking and harassment stemming from the rape allegations. One plaintiff claimed her dog died from unexplained traumatic injuries to its trachea and esophagus, also alleging that church members chased her as she drove her car, filming her without permission, harassing her online, and posted ads to social media sites soliciting sex in her name. Another plaintiff stated that she and her neighbors observed a man snapping pictures from her driveway, and later that night, someone broke a window in her 13-year-old daughter's bedroom. Masterson has since responded to one of the plaintiffs in the lawsuit, claiming, I'm not going to fight my ex-girlfriend in the media like she's been baiting me to do for 2 years. I will beat her in court. And look forward to it because the public will finally be able to learn the truth and see how I've been railroaded by this woman. And once her lawsuit is thrown out, I intend to sue her and the others who jumped on the bandwagon for the damage they've caused me and my family. He did not address the stalking or harassment claims. In January 2020, Chrissy Bixler, who is Jane Doe 3, reported that a second family pet had been euthanized due to being fed rat poison wrapped inside a rolled up piece of raw meat, alleging that this was done by Scientologists. Also that month, Masterson's wife, Bijou Phillips, made an Instagram post mocking court papers against Masterson. On June 17, 2020, Masterson was charged with raping a 23-year-old woman in 2001, a 28-year-old woman in early 2003, and a 23-year-old woman in late 2003. The 3 counts came after a 3-year investigation, beginning in 2017. On January 21st, 2021, Masterson pleaded not guilty. On May 21st, 2021, Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Almeida said that she found all 3 witnesses to be credible and the evidence presented during preliminary hearings sufficient to support the charges. She ordered that Masterson be bound over for a trial on 3 counts of rape by force or fear, and he surrender his passport at his next arraignment.
What's up, man who stands? How you doing?
On June 7th.
Playing 4 games at once. Doing excellent. I hope I hope you're having a really wonderful day. I've got some kid kind of halfway hunting me here, so I'm sorry if I'm distracted, but I did have a bow fight here just 90 seconds ago, and just listening for the signs, you know. I'm just about to order some edibles for pickup from my club. Right on, right on. Yeah, unfortunately, I've got to take like a 3-month break coming up here. Oh. Oh, damn it, I almost hit him. Oh, 2 people.